Do 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 do. Hey, how's it going? It's Nancy Gamon. Thanks for visiting. Would you like to sleep on a bed of flowers? Well, let's start with a pretty place to rest your head. I'm just getting ready to dye an old pillowcase that's gotten kind of discolored over the years. It has some hand embroidery down one side, but I'm just going to dye over that. I started by soaking the pillowcase in a soda ash solution for at least 10 minutes. Now I'm just smoothing it out so that I can start with my fold. I'm going to create a bloom in the center of the pillowcase. So first I'm going to think about what is the vertical line of the pillowcase. So that's going to be my first fold. I'm going to fold the pillowcase in half and then in half again. And then lifting up just this top folded layer, I'm going to take it down to meet the bottom edge, creating a diagonal line. I'm going to lift up that diagonal fold, take it down to meet that bottom line again, and repeat that one more time, picking up the diagonal and taking it down to the bottom. Then I'm going to flip the project over. Whoops, it looks like I had some red dye on my work surface left over from another project, but that won't hurt anything. So I'm going to continue the folding on this side, picking up this folded edge and aligning it to meet the others, creating the diagonal, picking up that diagonal and folding that down, repeating one more time with the diagonal edge to meet the other folds. It creates a slim, long triangle with two thick folds on one side and a number of skinnier folds on the other side. To me, the blooms look nicest when they're surrounded by a little green foliage. I'm going to use a binder clip to mark where I want the bloom to end, leaving a little bit of a border of what will be green foliage around it. I'm just using the binder clip temporarily. I'll remove it when it comes time to do the dyeing. I'm going to loosen up or blouse out the remaining fabric so that it will create a very loose organic pattern that I hope will resemble kind of a field of grass or greenery. Now I'm ready to place the pillowcase into my dyeing pan. The setup that I'm using is a plastic bin topped with a cooling rack and then an aluminum baking pan that I have poked holes into the bottom of. I like to set down some paper onto the pan so that the design of those holes doesn't accidentally transfer onto the fabric. So I'll arrange my pillowcase in the pan. I'm going to remove the binder clip now. I'm going to wrap the folds with a damp rag. This helps keep the folds together so that they don't accidentally separate once the ice gets put on top. It also protects the fabric from any spotting from the dye, since not all of the powdered dye turns to liquid during the process. I'm going to cover the foliage area with a damp rag as well. Now I'm ready to cover the entire project with a layer of ice cubes. Now it's time to sprinkle on the dye. I'm using Procion fiber reactive dyes, which are specially designed to work on fabrics that are 100% plant fibers. Starting with the tip of the triangle, I'm going to sprinkle on a little bronze to form the center of the flower. Along the petals, I'm sprinkling coral pink. I like to use a few different colors of green in the foliage area, some light and some dark, to create some depth and interest. I'm using parakeet, electric green, and aquamarine. Now I'll let the project rest overnight for about 22 hours. This will allow time for the ice to melt, the powder to turn to liquid, and the colors to seep into the fabric. Okay, let's see how our pillowcase turned out. Ooh, looks like it made a nice bloom shape in the center of the pillow. And the greens have a good variety around the edges. What's next is to rinse the pillowcase out under cold water until the water runs clear. Then wash it in hot water with a splash of Textile Detergent. Rinse that out, and then let the pillowcase sit in hot water with a splash of dye fixative for about 20 minutes. After that's rinsed out, it's ready to dry and enjoy. Here's the finished pillowcase, washed, dried, and pressed with a very hot iron. Here's the back of it that contains the embroidery. And that's our project for today. Until I see you next time, sweet dreams. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.